To me personally, I don't know how you could do it. So you want to face one of the oldest and most scariest parts of human life, which is not knowing what comes next. And you think it's cool to not be sentient just because you're having a rough patch in life? You know what I mean? The most painful yet most redeeming thing about life is that regardless of what happens is that it continues. And like there's no heaven, there's no hell. There's no heaven to make you feel better about finally achieving peace after you die, and there's no hell so you can feel less guilty about all the bad shit you did while you were living. It's just nothing. And there's no way to verify if I'm right or you're right or whoever's right just because nobody can go die and come back. I mean, you have near death experiences, but you don't have dying and coming back ones. So why you want to take any kind of petty, mortal, earthbound problems and make them so bad that you want to just end it is beyond me. Honestly, that couldn't be me. I'm scared of dying. People, as you get older, get scared of dying for the most part. The older you get, the less time you realize you have, and the more you want to make the most of it. Young people are often a little more emotional, they're a little more like impulsive, rushing into stuff. So I could see why everybody's on the internet saying, I want to be alive, I don't want to be alive. I want to be reincarnated as a sea sponge. I want to be a snail that just slithers. But honestly, I think that's kind of cowarding out. I, unlike all those other dumb animals, really like the fact that I can think for myself and ponder about things, and also avoid dying in violent ways if I can help it. So, like, imagine if you get reincarnated as like a wild boar, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm cool, and then you just get violently eaten by a lion or something. You know what I mean? So, you miss me with that reincarnation stuff too. Maybe I got too much of my grandma in me, where it's like we live, we die, that's it. And I'm honestly still mad at the atheist for taking away the one cope that humans have, which is like wanting to believe. How dare I want to believe in a reward for life after death? You know, now I just gotta question if there's anything beyond when I hit that age. And I feel like I'm already there. Just because everything's about being the young kids. Nobody cares about these old people, and we're all broke. Honestly, we wouldn't be thinking about this if we weren't all broke. But that's more of a reason to fight for a better tomorrow. Because even if you can't achieve it in your lifetime, I'll be damned if the next generation of people have to go through the same thing. I mean, honestly, think about it. That should scare you more than, whatever makes you want to commit suicide. You are going to be the first and last person to have your own unique experiences and your own unique thoughts. There may be people like you, but there will never be another you. And you honestly want to deprive the rest of the world of that? Honestly, think about how much you cherish that your own life is so unique to you, and you want to just speed that up and go into eternal nothingness? No. Now, maybe it's just me. I feel like older people that have midlife crises are like anti-suicide. In fact, they're like trying not to age, kind of like an Indiana Jones villain or something. And maybe you can't relate to that because you're young and you don't really care because you can't even see 4 feet in front of you. You're only thinking about right now. But honestly, thinking about right now, I don't think anybody else's opinions or what they've done to you is worth you just snuffing yourself out. Because you have to forgive me, but suicide in some ways is just kind of cowardly. That does not make you a coward, but it makes the act of giving up to everyone else cowardly, if that makes sense. I don't mean to be so insensitive, but it is often very complex and hard to deal with the fact that people are gone when they are gone. And that's honestly the worst part, because you don't know the impact that you have on people until you're gone. Because for some reason, people don't tell you the things that they should tell you or want to tell you until it's too late. Because then they feel like the pressure's lifted. When ironically, if they just at least tried while you were alive, it could have changed something. And I'm not gonna lie, a lot of that I carry heavy feelings because there were times where I could have been there for somebody and I was in an angry mood and I dismissed them and then they commit suicide. So what does that make me look like? What does that make anyone look like? Even without that experience, I really want to ask you, are you really going to let people bend your arm and make you quit? Do you really think that whatever you've done is that bad when other people are bigger, huger pieces of shit and they get to go on living like nothing? But it's not on them. Ultimately, the people that try to commit to doing this are the ones that chose to do it themselves. You know, because blame runs both ways. It's not one or the other, it's just both at once. Yes, the people in your life are shitty to you, but then are you gonna make the final step? Do you really think it's that bad that that's what you want to do? Instead of working to find a solution, you just want to hit the force quit button. There's a reason why in Black Ops 1 it's called Coward's Way Out. A lot of people who survive these attempts regret them the minute they do them. And please, for the love of God, talk to somebody. And think about, even if you don't believe me, you know, whenever you make a mistake, right after that, your brain starts thinking of all the perfect solutions that you could have done, but then you get mad at your brain and you're like, well, where were these solutions when I needed it instead of that? But you know, that's the whole thing of hindsight being 2020. Okay. Wait. Before I go, I'm gonna prescribe you 3 songs. One song is for if you're considering it, you need to jam out to this. That way, you can kind of get it out of your system. For as much as we make fun of musicians, they put their emotions and everything out on the line so that other people can hear them. And in some ways, that kind of helps alleviate the pain. So, if you're honestly feeling that bad, maybe you just need to rock out with your out. So the other 2 I'm kind of forgetting, but I'm going to substitute it. So, first, you need to listen to Superstar by the Carpenters, and then The Perfect Jug by the 9 Inch Nails. Both of these songs emphasize what it's like to lose somebody, and you really need to think about that when you're considering doing this, because unfortunately, even if they were shitty to you during life, this is how the people are going to act when you die. You know, maybe they weren't the best at expressing themselves either, but once people are gone, they're gone. There's no reset, you know. So again, these 3 songs, think about it, don't do it. And lastly, if you're honestly feeling that bad and you need to hit the dopamine, just fucking beat your meat or toke up or something. You know what I mean? There's things to alleviate it. Now, don't get lost in it. Don't do whatever you're doing to alleviate the stress. Don't do too much. You know, too much alcohol, too much flour, too much beating of the meat. Like, none of that's good for you or your organs or your body in general. Do it with discretion. Honestly, though. You know those terrible jokes with the stand-up comedians that, bro, have you even tried, you know, X thing yet? And honestly, that'll be my parting message. Listen to those songs, and yeah, don't do it, man. No, but for real, don't do it, man. Like, no, it's not worth it. Love you. Bye. See you all. Puente Productions. Mic drop. Yes, we were born to be alive. Yes, we were born to be alive. Born to be alive, born to be alive.